Hello, dear V2 audience. Well, I've got a nice little product that I'd like to bring to your attention today. This is a new wireless microphone brought to us by the company NUX. Yes, I believe that is how you say it. Now, we've been selling this little fellow for a good few months now, and it's rather impressed us here at Sax. This specific model is the NUX B6 sax mic. As I say, it's a wireless system. You might think initially, actually, before I open it up, what do you mean wireless system? This is a tiny little box. You can't get a system in there. But you'd be wrong, because you can get a system in there. So as I open this up, you can see everything you need here to play wirelessly. So we have, obviously, the microphone here. We have the receiver here, and we have the transmitter here. And it is in such a handy little piece of packaging here that, believe it or not, the packaging itself, the box, actually charges the microphone. I'll come to that in a second, but in the meantime, let's just get the thing out of here. And as I take out the bits and pieces, I'm just enjoying the process of getting them out, quite frankly, because everything has been so beautifully designed, the way everything just pops in the little slots here and comes out. In fact, that is magnetic. As I let go, I feel the thing click into place, which is rather satisfying. So as I get it out, we've got three little bits and pieces here, as mentioned, the microphone, receiver, and transmitter. But unlike any regular saxophone wireless system where we'd have big, chunky, clunky parts and often taking a lot of setup, with this system, it is very user-friendly and simplistic. So if we take the microphone here, it simply, oh, you can see it's all snapping back into place. I didn't actually intend that to happen, but it's beautiful anyway. This just locks in here. You push in place, very satisfying, hear that click. We tighten it. Turn it the right way, that would help. And voila, beautiful. So light, so compact, it's absolutely brilliant. Then we've got the spring-loaded bit here. You can see that there? That simply locks on to the bell of your saxophone. So it's just beautifully user-friendly and very satisfying. It's so light and just really well made and chunky and satisfying to hold. So that's that bit there. And then onto the receiver. This is just utterly fantastic because, as you can see, it's tiny, but it is actually a receiver. And rather than being like a separate box that would normally sit adjacent to your mixing desk, this, as you can see, it's got the XLR out there. That just simply locks into your mixing desk. And that's it. You're done. You don't need to connect via an XLR lead and set it up and all the rest of it. Just give it to your sound engineer, or if you're the sound engineer, you just pop it straight into the slot, into the channel that you are using. In terms of its basic use, it's very simple. As soon as it comes out of its case, you just switch on both units. You just have to hold each button. Let's demonstrate for you now. And you can see the green light there, meaning it has paired. So I'll tell you a few other cool little bits and pieces about this setup in a sec. But in the meantime, let's just hear how it sounds. So I should point out that its typical use would be for live use, but obviously we demoed it there just for the purposes of this video, and it comes out pretty well, but it's never going to be quite as good as an amazing studio condenser mic setup. But as I say, the sound is pretty good when you consider the price tag for this thing. So just a few other bits and pieces to tell you about this product. You can see this green color here. Well, this is actually to represent the EQ setting for alto sax, because it's got three handy little quick flicks here where you can flick the EQ setting from alto to soprano and to tenor, and they all have their own color coding. Let me tell you about how the case charges up because it has a USB-C in, and we get 7 hours of battery life, which is kind of more than enough really for most gigging situations. So that's just a really cool feature. I love the fact that you can charge the case and then it charges everything within. In terms of its sort of practical usage, the range is 20 meters. Again, that's more than enough distance when you think of most stages. I mean, you'd have to be on a pretty huge case to exceed the 20-meter point. So I don't think that will be the case for most of you guys. And then really, finally, I just want to give my overall impressions on the product, in the sense that, as I've pointed out a couple of times now, that this is a relatively inexpensive, well, in fact, it is our most inexpensive wireless sax mic system, and I think it represents incredible value for money. When you think about how well built it is, all the componentry is wonderful. It performs well in terms of its audio quality, and everything is just very satisfying to the touch. In fact, a little anecdote for you here. One of our colleagues, Jules, he uses one of these, absolutely loves it. And in his band, he's got another 3 band members also using this system on the same stage. There's no interference between the mics, and it works perfectly for him and his colleagues. And I've also just seen a rather interesting online video where a notable YouTuber is going around the NUX factory, and he's just wowed with the quality of the production, the manufacturing, the state-of-the-art facilities. It's always nice to get an insight into how these things are actually made, and it's very satisfying when you can see that a lot of care and attention and professionalism goes into making these products. So as I've said a number of times, this represents great value for money. I suppose it goes without saying that you are going to sacrifice a certain amount of audio quality, but it's a small amount, relatively speaking, when we consider that the price point is so low. Of course, we can spend thousands on, ultra high quality sax wireless systems, but for you guys looking for a budget option whereby the sound quality is pretty darn good, this is a great option for you.